property financing product among local banks towards home ownership in Malaysia. Here are the group members involved in this research.
So moving on to the introduction, the term property financing refers to any type of infrastructure investment, and as such the term encompasses both debt and equity equally. The main objectives of the study include in investigating the property financing product among local banks and to identify the importance of property financing among local banks in Malaysia. And in this study, more detailed discussion will be emphasized on two different schemes, which includes conventional and Islamic type of financing. The current drawbacks includes on the COVID-19 outbreak and economic recovery has intensified, in which recent moratorium by Bank Negara Malaysia has been extended for the people who are still affected, where the homeowner who meet the criteria will have an extra 3 months to make payments until their loan turns quasi. For instance, loan approvals will become increasingly difficult to secure in the future.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Yasmin or Saidi, and I will elaborate on the literature review of this research. For the definition of term, the definition of property financing is a funding scheme to finance the investment activity in real estate that should be considered during the homeownership process. In Malaysia, property financing is mainly issued by financial institutions and commercial banks. Next is home ownership. That is defined as the possession to own a property that involves a range of housing selection that best suits the homebuyer's needs and preferences. This is because the decision to purchase a house is essential as it requires a big step in one's life with high financial commitment. Next is the types of property financing product. The first product is term financing that requires the borrower to pay a fixed amount towards the bank or any financial institution every month for the entire tenure of the housing loan. Next is fixed rate financing, where the interest and loan payment rates remain fixed throughout the loan term, as implied by the name, which eliminates any form of ambiguity. Followed by overdraft that requires the borrower to pay only the interest portion without the principal, which is great to be used for any businesses. Meanwhile, flexi loan is a type of housing loan where borrowers can make advance payments to reduce their interest. Next is Islamic financing that distinguishes itself from any other housing loans by not charging interest, which is commonly known as riba in Islam. For refinancing loan, it should be done only once the existing mortgage package is outdated in order to reduce the interest rates and expand their property portfolio. Last but not least is the government housing loan that is only offered for government servants or employee in any government-linked companies.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Najmah Moh Samsudin. So now I will proceed with the issue on home ownership in Malaysia that have been discussed in this literature review. So for the first issue is about housing affordability, where it's more commonly related with the issue on rising on the housing price. So the housing price, it will affect the low and also the middle income earner, which indirectly will discourage their willingness or preferences in owning a house. The rising of the house price is due to scarcity of the land, especially in the urban area. When there is an issue on the scarcity of land, it will contribute towards the rising in the housing price. When there are rising in the housing price, is because of the high demand and also population growth. For the second issue is about mismatched demand and also supply, which happen due to the rapid population growth, which makes the demand on the residential property have been created. Demand being created when there is willingness to pay and also preferences among the potential buyers in order to purchase a residential property in the marketplace. And the issue is when there is high demand in the market upon the residential property, it will tend to create an issue for the inadequate supply of the residential property in the marketplace. Furthermore is issue on the monthly housing loan repayment. Commonly, housing loan repayment is issued on the excessive interest on the loan that imposed to the borrower, and it will indirectly give a burden especially to the low and also middle income earner. And When there is an issue on the excessive bank high interest on the loan that have been applied, it will indirectly contribute to the unwillingness for the potential buyer in purchasing or owning a house. Last but not least is issue on the limited housing finance approval. This limited housing loan approval is commonly issued on the rising housing prices does not commensurate with the household income level. The bank become more stringent with their loan application for their approval is due to the consideration on the capability of the borrower or household in applying the loan for the loan approval.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Hidayah binti Abdul Khalid. Now, I would like to continue with the methodology and also the case study part. For this research, we have adopted the qualitative method in order to analyze and gathering the data due to the limits of the COVID-19 pandemic. Therefore, the process of writing this research is being done through the online desk study only. All the data for this research is derived from the secondary sources like academic journal, government publication, annual reports and others. For this research, Malaysia has been chosen as the case study. Therefore, the data that is being collected is only pertinent to Malaysia, particularly all the financial institutions in Malaysia. Moving on to the data analysis part. After all the data has been gathered through the qualitative research, in order to achieve the research objective, a literature review is being done on the types of financing product offered by the Malaysian bank and also the home ownership issues among public. In general, all financial institutions, either it is conventional bank or Islamic bank, they offer various types of loan. Moreover, all banks offer different types of interest rate, profit margin and also benefit to their borrower. After all the data has been collected, the analysis were done on the property financing product and also the importance of property financing. Moving on to the case study part. As I mentioned earlier, our case study for this research is Malaysia. Malaysia have two types of housing financing system, which is under the banking system, or the second one is under the non-banking system. Example for the banking system is Bank Negara Malaysia and all financial institution in Malaysia. For the non-banking sector, it is financial development institution like EPF, Tabung Haji, Unit Trust, SB and so on. The commercial bank has dominated the housing credit industry until today. The types of loan that is offered by the financial institution, the first one is conventional housing loan. It is offered by the conventional bank where the bank will provide the loan with the interest rate charged to the borrower. Meanwhile, the second one is Islamic loan, which offered by the Islamic bank where it is based on the principle of equity and fairness. Therefore, there is no interest that is being charged to the borrower. And the third one, there is also housing loan which specified for the government servant only, where it is also known as LPPSA. In Malaysia, all the financial institution is governed by Bank Negara Malaysia. As I mentioned just now, the role of Bank Negara Malaysia is to govern all the financial institution in Malaysia. And the second one is to support the creation of new product in home financing by financial institution. And the third one is to ensure all the financial institutions follow the Malaysian legislation. The last role is to secure the customer by ensuring the home financing risk is handled adequately to ensure the customer fairness. That's all from me. Thank you.
My name is Nuranis Fatini binti Muhammad Zaidi, so I will proceed with the result and discussion. As we know, property financing is a product offered by the bank and financial institution, which includes several types specifically for homeowners, which are term loan, fixed rate loan, overdraft, flexi loan, Islamic loan, refinancings and government housing loan. Firstly is term loan, which is the most popular property financing product in Malaysia. It is a loan provided by the bank in a specific amount which includes repayment time frame and a fixed or rotating interest rate. In Malaysia, the duration of term loan is basically up to 35 years or 70 years of age, whichever is earlier. In this context, this study has come up with an example of a term loan provided by 3 local banks in Malaysia. As you can see in the slide, Maybank has named the term loan product as a house key home ownership, which is provided with 100% financing and suitable for the completed and under construction residential properties. Next, for CIMB, it was introduced home loan with 95% margin of financings, include MRTT, legal fees and valuation fees. It also suitable for the completed and under construction residential properties. CIMB also introduced vacant land financing, which is suitable for all type of vacant land such as residential, commercial, industrial and agriculture. Next type is fixed rate financing. It means that the interest rates for this property financing product is fixed until the end of the tenure. The advantages of fixed rate financings are the potential borrower is protected from any fluctuation in interest rate and increases in monthly installment. Furthermore, most of the potential borrowers are easy to understand the fixed rate loan repayment process compared to floating rate. It is also helping the potential borrower in long-term planning and budgeting due to the fixed monthly repayment schedules. Another property financing products among local bank is overdraft facility. Overdraft facility, or known as a cash line facility, is provided by the bank in the borrower's current account, and the borrowers need to pledge a collateral to the bank. This type of financing is different from the other types of loans, and it is unnecessary for potential borrower to use it. In the other words, an overdraft is used when the home buyers do not have sufficient money in their saving to cover the transactions. The overdraft facilities provided by each bank may vary according to the concept, minimum amount of loan, type of property and tenor. So the table in the slide indicates the overdraft facility provided by CIMB, which is one of the local banks in Malaysia. As you can see, there are 3 types of overdraft product provided by the CIMB, namely OD against property, home loan with OD, and biz loan with OD. OD against property is suitable for all types of completed property such as residential, commercial and industrial property, which include landed and non-landed properties. Next, semi-permanent residential property, which is half brick and half timber, and this type of property is only permitted in the states of Sarawak and Sabah. Then ODs against property also suitable for the leasehold property, which is unexpired lease not less than 30 years. Next, home loan with OD suitable for completed and under construction residential property only. Meanwhile, for the biz loan with OD are for all types of completed and under construction commercial and industrial properties. Then, for the flexi loans, it was provided for those who have extra cash in the bank. This type of loan more interested because it is a combination of savings, current and loan facilities under one account. Other than that, the potential borrower will get a lower interest rate when they allocate additional money into a current account that is linked with the borrower's loans account. Furthermore, flexi loans allow the borrower access to the loan account anytime to save on interest and withdraw the excess payments anytime without incurring additional fees and charges. However, this type of loan is limited because it is not available in all financial institutions and there is a monthly fee charge for maintenance of the borrower account. As you can see in the slide, Maybank introduced Maxi Loan, Flexi Loan with no commitment fees and only suitable for refinancing residential property or remortgage for residential fully paid or free from encumbrances. Meanwhile, CIMB provided 2 types of Flexi Loan, which is Home Flexi Smart I and Vacant Land Flexi Smart. For Home Flexi Smart I, it was introduced for completed and under construction residential property, which includes resort homes and service apartments. Then, for Vacant Land Flexi Smart product is for all types of residential, commercial, industrial and agriculture which is in the vacant land.
Next is Islamic financing. In Malaysia, there are 36 financial institutions that offer services on Islamic banking scheme, which includes 14 commercial banks, 10 finance firms, 5 merchant financial institutions, and 7 commercial lenders. Murabahah concept is used where the financial institution acquires the property from the borrower and leases it back in the effort of avoidance of riba, which is deemed as unethical in Islamic practices. Given its direct link to actual assets and the real economy, Islamic finance can make a significant contribution to the economic growth. As you can see from the line chart, it shows that the Islamic base rate for 3 local banks, Maybank Berhad, CIMB Bank and Bank Rakyat from year 2019 to late 2020, which has shown a decline value and range from 1.75% to 2.6%. On to refinancing, it can be defined as replacing existing loan with new loan which pays off the first step. For instance, an individual could refinance their property and acquire some additional cash flow by making replacement on the existing loan with newer terms and conditions in the agreement based on the financial institution preferred. As depicted in the bar chart, the base financing rate for each of the 3 local banks from year 2019 to late 2020 shown a declined value with a range of 5.4% to 5.58% on average. It is advisable to check beforehand on the adjustable rate mortgage and setting up limited refinancing amount by considering various options when making decision. The simplest procedure in refinancing application involves in verifying to see if the mortgage payment is still in the lock-in term and approaching several financial institutions while learning on the effective lending rate. Then making comparison for better rates and decide based on the main goals of the individuals. Financing products include the government housing loan. It is a loan provided for the government servants which falls under the Public Sector Home Financing Board LPPSA, which is formerly known as Housing Loan Division BPP. And based on LPPSA, there are 7 types of financing that are allowable for civil servants. Then it is divided into Islamic Public Sector Home Financing Scheme and Conventional Public Sector Home Financing Scheme. For Islamic finance, it is fixed at 7% while conventional is fixed at 4%. Individuals are eligible to apply for government housing finance twice only after the first financing has completed fully. Then the requirements to apply is quite unique as it is only applicable to individuals that has served the government for at least 2 years. And from this table, we can see the qualification for public sector home financing based on the net income. This is the latest guidelines given from LPPSA. To add some more, there is a application called My Financing app which allows easy access to the individual's finance account. For instance, like checking the status balance and more. It was found that not every financial institution offered all 7 types of property financing product. In Maybank Berhad, they only offered term loan, overdraft, flexi loan, and refinancing loan. In CIMB Bank, they offer a variety of choices for property financing product, which includes term loan, fixed rate loan, overdraft, flexi loan, and Islamic loan. Meanwhile, for Bank Rakyat, they offer term loan and Islamic loan only. So it is best for borrowers to examine the types of property financing product during the decision-making process of home ownership to meet their personal needs and preferences. In conclusion, it is important to understand different types of property financing and realizes the functionality of each of property financing which suits the main objectives on the investment made. This is made evident by the fact that these products allow more investors to release consistent working capital, outstanding return, tax benefits, and diversification with well-chosen investments.
And that is all from us. Thank you.